Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this first Fearlessly Female webinar series, where we've got one man sneaked in and we're allowing him to stay. The topic today is body image, and we've all got stuff around body image. I sent out a questionnaire over the past week, and many of you have sent it back. The main purpose of this questionnaire was to let you become more aware of how you feel about your body, to bring you in contact. And it's been very interesting reading your responses, because I can see that that's actually happened. When we are, in my opinion, when we are aware that there's something going on, then we can address it. If we're not aware, we can't address it, therefore it can't change. So the questionnaire was to bring you into awareness of your body and how you feel about it. And when I started to review these, there's lots of similarities and a lot of differences. And so what I've done is I have calibrated using muscle testing. Most of you know that I do that, and I'll show you how that works for those of you that don't. And I've calibrated how your body image is for you, and I calibrated it into mental, which are your thoughts and your beliefs. Then emotions, the emotional impact of your body image on yourself. Then the physical impact. Physical is generally about how we use our body to protect ourselves or to defend ourselves. But we won't know fully until we start investigating this with Fast Track. And then the most interesting one for me was outside influences. And that's the media, other people's opinions, family, all that kind of stuff. And so everybody that sent in a questionnaire, I've calibrated it. And as we go through, well, no, what I will do is I will share, would everybody here like to know what their numbers are? Yes, all right. So let me start with Jazz, all right? I'll put myself out there. Where's Jazz gone? Okay, Jazz seems to have disappeared. Oh, there she's on the floor. Okay, so mentally, my thoughts, the beliefs and stuff are affecting me negatively, 18%, connected to my body image, which is pretty good actually, but it's hardly surprising since I use Fast Track nearly every day. Emotions, 27%. So I have emotional stuff going on in my body. What that's about, I don't know yet, but we'll find out. Physically, I'm doing really, really good. You know, my physical body, I'm aligned with that 27%. So I think I'm doing okay. And the media, outside influences, other people's opinion of me, my physical body, and being affected by that 17%. So I'm hoping all those are going to be zeros by the time we've finished. So let us start with Susan. Where's she gone? No, that's not the way to do it. Top of the list. Okay, all right. Okay, we'll start. Lindsay, you're here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, Lindsay. All right. So, great numbers. Great numbers. Mental, 37. Yeah. Emotional, 27. Physical, 28. And interestingly, media, outside influences, 38. So that will make more sense once we start doing the workshop, but great numbers. And to be quite honest, there's hardly anybody here with big numbers. So it's obvious that you've all done a lot of work on this. Amy, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Amy, mental, 38. Emotional, 67. Physical, and that's how you're keeping the world at bay or defending yourself, 37. And this is very interesting. Outside influences, the media, family, 93%. So very interesting for us, for you to know that in a way you are being heavily influenced by outside situations and people. Time to stop that. Loretta, mental, 37, good work. Emotional, 57. Physical, 83. And the media, 87. Esther, mental, 17. Emotional, 67. Physical, 37. And the media, 57. That suggests to me this is your sensitive, ultra sensitive self that needs some care and attention. She's not here. We have Rachel?
Yep.
Hi, Rachel. All right. Okay, mental, 37. Good work. Emotional, 39. Physical, 59. And media, 77. So that's for you to pay attention to, outside influences. Susan, there you are. Mental, 27. Emotional, 37. Physical, 38. And media, outside influences, 67. Now, please know that these numbers are what's going on in your subconscious. So there might be a bit of a surprise. There might be a pleasant surprise, but this is programming. This is old stuff that you don't need. All right, so Janelle, I hadn't done her numbers, so I'm going to do them right now. Mental, more than 50, 40, 30, 30 to 35, 35, 36, 37. Emotional, more than 50, 40, 30, 30 to 35, 35, 36, 37, 38. Physical, more than 50, 60, 70, 80, 70 to 75, 75, 76, 77. Sorry. $77, Janelle, yes. And media, more than 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 80 to 85, 85, 86, 87. Charlotte, mental, 37, emotional, 47, physical, 37, and media, outside influences, 77. All right, and let's do Dan. More mental, more than 50, 40, 40 to 45, 45, 46, 47. Emotional, more than 50, 60, 70, 60 to 65, 65, 66, 67. Woo! Physical, more than 50, more than 40, 40 to 45, 45, 46, 47, 48. And outside influences, more than 50, 40, 30. Whoa, good for you. 30 to 35, 35, 36, 37. Aga, we've not done you. I don't think I got a questionnaire back. Anyway, let's do that now. Mental, more than 50, 40, 30, 20, 20 to 25, 25, 26, 27. Emotional, more than 50, 40, 30, 30 to 35, 35, 36, 37. Physical, more than 50, 40, 30, 30 to 35, 35, 36, 37. And outside, more than 50, 40, 30, 20, 20 to 25, 25, 26, 27. All right. What all of you notice, there's lots of sevens going on, and 7 is the number that Fast Track pays attention to. And 7 is always about self. So it would look like, you know, we need to be paying more attention to ourselves and what we want rather than the other stuff. And that will all become clear. And Marine, here we go. Mental, more than 50, 40, 30, 30 to 35, 35, 36, 37. And Aga, sorry, what I meant to say was well done. Those are great numbers. Brilliant. Congrats. Emotional for Marine, more than 50, 40, 30, 30 to 35, 35, 36, 37. Physical, more than 50, 40, 30, 20, 20 to 25, 25, 26, 27. Wow, well done you. And this is where it's going to hit the fan. Media, more than 50, 60, 70, 60 to 65, 65, 66, 67. So you can see we've got heaps of sevens. And those of you that are familiar with Fast Track, these numbers are going to mean a lot to you. If you're not familiar with Fast Track, don't worry, it's all going to become clear. Is there anybody I've missed out that's online? Okay, all right, so let us start. I use muscle testing, as you know. I use the O-ring test when I speak something that is positive or is a yes, like my name is Jazz, it holds strong. When I say my name is Susan, it goes weak, which indicates a no. Using muscle testing, you've all given me permission to access your subconscious programming by showing up. And so the numbers that I've got have come from you, not from me. When we do these releases, I'm going to gauge what the releases are by using muscle testing and the Fast Track cards that I've got down here to my left. There's 21 in total. And each of them represent a possibility of what is in the way of your body image being more positive. And it looks like the media, outside influences is the big one here. But when I calibrate all these numbers, what I'm doing is I'm offering them up to consciousness, who does all the maths, and then will just guide us to release. So although there are a number of us here, everything that we release will have some relevance to everybody on the call and everybody who registered that will get the replay. Any questions? Good. So the cards are set out, card number 1, which is resistance to change. And we've all got that. And then we've got line number 1, line number 2, and line number 3. We're going to go through this and see now what we can release. Before we do that though, just close your eyes and just allow yourself to scan through your body. And to notice anywhere where you're feeling a tightness, a constriction, an emotion, or something that does not belong in your body. Having gone through these numbers and brought this stuff to you, it will start to bring up the areas in your body where this stuff that you don't need is being stored. So when you become aware of that, give it a number, 0 to 10. 0 is nothing and 10 is a lot. Remember where it is in your body. It might be in more than one place. And write down those places and the level of discomfort. I'm seeing Aga's kittens here. Oh, look at that. Oh. So I've got a 3 and I'm feeling it in my jaw.
What is the score? The level of intensity?
0 to 10. 0 is that you feel nothing at all anywhere in your body, and 10 is you feel something a lot somewhere, and it might be more than one place.
Got it.
And this is for your own information. So when we finish the call, you'll be able to go back and find out or assess what's happened by this benchmark that you've given yourself. At some point, it might go higher as the intensity intensity rises, or we get close to the issue. And if by any chance you feel emotions come up, try not to control them because they're coming up to get released. This is the stuff that's been suppressed. Okay. So everybody got a number? Anybody got higher than a 7? All right, what number have you got, Dan?
I got an 8.
Okay, and where are you feeling that?
Solar plexus area.
Okay, all right, good work. Anybody else higher than a 7? All right, anybody else got a 0? Anybody got a 0? All right, okay, it's working. Okay. Okay, so does this group have resistance to change? Yes. Is it more than 80%? More than 90? More than 98? 98, 97? We have 97% resistance to change. This is subconscious programming. You consciously show that, of course, you want to change, but your subconscious like, nope. So, do we need to know more? No. Charlotte, would you like to do this with me? Yeah. Okay, great. Do you have a magnet or a crystal with you?
I do, yeah.
All right, okay. So this is the card that's going to release the resistance to change. Everybody bring your crystal, your magnet, or if you don't have that, your fingers to the bridge of your nose, and then bring it across the top of your head and repeat what Charlotte and I are going to say. I fast track the release
I fast track the release
of all resistance to change,
of all resistance to change,
fear of change,
fear of change,
secondary gain, and social conditioning.
and social conditioning.
I forgive myself
I forgive myself
I forgive my body.
I forgive my body.
Woo. I forgive everyone involved,
I forgive everyone involved,
connected to my negative image
connected to my negative image
of my body.
of my body.
And I give myself permission to let go.
And I give myself permission to let go.
To let go
Let go.
and change. Woo. Now, okay, did we release that? Yes, we did. So the resistance was 97. Is it less than 20? Is it less than 10? Is it 0? Resistance has gone. You might have felt a relief or a release. You might even have felt some emotions coming up. If you yawn, burp, or do any of those things, it's a sure sign that you're releasing. Okay, did we release that? Are there any root causes? Is there more than 3? 3, 2. A root cause is something that's fundamental, something that started this negativity, whatever it is. And Loretta, do you want to do this with me? Okay, all right. So root cause number 1, is it on line number 1? No. Line number 2? No. Line number 3? Yes. The body, the heart, trauma, old vibrations. So is this old vibrations? Is it old stories? These are own stories. So they're not our stories. Do they belong to other people? Is it more than one person? Is this outside influences? Okay. Do we need to know more? Is this specifically for Loretta? Okay. Okay, so for you, Loretta, there are 3 people, and this will be going back to when you were young, that you heard stories from, not necessarily about you, but you took them on as being your stories or as a negative happening in your life. So there's 3 people that have given you these stories, and the vibration of those stories are in your subconscious, and they are there 24/7, and they will interfere with what you consciously want. Once something is in our subconscious as a negative, it operates as that, and it goes out looking for proof all the time. So for everybody else, these are other people that you might have heard stories from. I had a lot of stories about weight, body image from my mum. She affected me, she's a fabulous woman, but she affected my image of my body drastically. And it took me quite some years to overcome the impact of her stories and how she saw bodies and what you did with them. And she was a really attractive woman with a great body, but she got lots of images around being perfect. All right, so let's do this. I fast track the release
I fast track the release
of all old stories
of all old stories
and the negative impact
and the negative impact
this has on my body image
this has on my body image
that no longer serves me.
that no longer serves me.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive those people
I forgive those people
and anyone else involved.
and anyone else involved.
And I give myself permission
And I give myself permission
to let go
to let go
of their stories
of their stories
and have a new relationship
and have a new relationship
with my body
with my body
based on who I am now.
based on who I am now.
It is time
It is time
for me to love my body.
for me to love my body
Now.
now. Thank you.
If you know who those three people are, it will be good to do some fast track by yourself on that.
Okay.
Okay. Did we release root cause number 1? Yeah, root cause number 2. Esther, this is, if you'd like to join me on this one. Is it line number 1, line number 2, line number 3? The body, the heart, trauma, old vibrations, conflict. Is this internal conflict, external conflict? Interesting. Is this current? Does this go back before the age of 10? Before the age of 5? 5, 6, 7. Age 7 is a very relevant age in terms of belief systems. We're not able, our brain, or that certain part of our brain is not developed sufficiently to make logical decisions until we're around 6 or 7. So prior to that, we're just absorbing stuff from people. But at age 7, we start to make logical decisions, and we base those on our experience of 7 years of life, which isn't extensive. However, the beliefs or the decisions of the 7-year-old can have massive impact on us for the rest of our lives, and we don't know what decisions we made. But this is how we protect ourselves from outside opinions. And again, going back to the age of 7, just hold on a sec. And these are about things that we've heard, that people said that we took to be negative about ourselves, based on our understanding of being 7. So I was told I was shy, I was told I was all, I was like a boy, I was, all sorts of different things. And I will have taken those on as being truths. So when that information is given to us by adults that we value or we want acceptance from, we tend to just take that stuff on without question. So these are the external conflicts that are still affecting us now. And the things that they said that we're still taking on as truths. And you've got about 140 of those, Esther, vibrating in your little body. So let's release them. I fast track the release of all external conflicts. Going back to the age of 7. Connected to other people's opinions and judgments. And the negative impact on my body image. Whew.
And the negative impact on the body image.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
for holding on to these.
for holding on to this.
And I now choose
And I now choose
to step up
to step up
out of this negativity
out of this negativity
and into the highest vibration
and into the highest vibration
of who I am now.
who I am now.
I choose to be seen.
I choose to be seen.
I allow myself to be heard.
And allow myself to be heard.
And I claim my place
And I claim my place
in this dimension.
in this dimension.
Now,
Now,
woo! How did that feel, Esther?
good.
Right.
Thank you.
So as we're going along, anything that you want to add, anything that these words provoke, then add your own little bits and pieces to personalize it for yourself. All right. So are there any more root causes? No. Do we have aspects? Do we have more than 4? Do we have 4? Do we have 3? We have 3 aspects. So seeing how the Zoom works, it might be easier if I just say this, but I'll let you know who this is specifically for these next 3 aspects, but we'll keep it quiet and that way the video doesn't go in and out. And I know that this is for Susan. All right. Is it card number 1, line number 1, line number 2? Family, birth and womb, inherited, karmic, outer resonance. There's 2 of those cards, outer resonance 1, outer resonance 2. This can go in 2 directions. Is it emotions? No. Is it separation? Is there an age? Is it before the age of 10? Is it before the age of 7? Age 8 for you, Susan. And it's separating yourself from oh, this is really interesting. So age 8 for Susan, it could be earlier or later for others. And this is, in some ways, Susan, and we take on pain, suffering, and sacrifice. And we carry that, we take it on from other people. This is all connected to our body image. So whatever it was you took on, maybe about bodies, so other people's negative opinions of bodies, but you've taken on their pain, suffering, and sacrifice. And you're still holding on to that. So it is separating you from having a better relationship with your body. And that stuff that you mentioned on your questionnaire. So how you interpret that, I'm not really sure. Is there anything you'd like to say, Susan?
Well, it brought up a feeling of kind of sadness related to that separation. Just mention that.
Right. Okay. So that sadness could be the pain, the suffering, and the sacrifice that we've taken on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also possible that what we're doing is we're holding ourselves back and not allowing, we might look in the mirror and think we look great, but do we let the full vibration of who we are go out there?
Yeah.
Or do we hold ourselves back for
Yeah.
other people?
Yeah.
And I think that's more what this is about.
Mm-hmm.
So I was told how pretty my sister was and all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't allow myself to be pretty. I wouldn't even allow myself to consider it at all. And that's the logic of a young child, isn't it? But that logic follows us through life. So let's release this. This is huge. All right.
Yeah. Okay, Jasmine.
Okay, so I'll say it, Susan, and if there's any of the words that do not feel right, you just change them, and everybody do the same. I fast track the release.
I fast track the release.
Okay, say them quietly so the camera doesn't go in and out. I fast track the release
Fast track the release
of all separation
of all separation
from the magnificence,
from the magnificent
beauty,
beauty,
and miracle of my physical body.
miracle of my physical body.
Going back to the age of 8.
Going back to the age of 8.
The pain, suffering, and sacrifice
Pain, suffering, and sacrifice
that I took on
that I took on
to put others first.
to put others first.
I forgive myself
I forgive myself
for doing this to my body
for doing this to my body,
and for separating me
for separating me
from having more fun in my body.
more fun in my body.
I choose to let go.
I choose to let go
And to reconnect with all parts of my body
and to reconnect with all parts of my body.
to release all aspects of aging
Release all aspects of aging
that no longer serve me,
that no longer serve me,
along with anybody else's opinion
along with anybody else's opinion
of who I should be
of who I should be
and what I should look like.
and what I should look like.
It is time
It is time
for me to
for me to
be in this body
be in this body
and to live fully in this body,
and to live fully in this body. And
in
to
alignment
enjoy
with
this body,
who I am now.
with alignment with who I am now.
Thank you, body.
Thank you, body.
Whoa.
Woo. Okay, Jazz.
How did that feel?
Good. Good.
Woo.
Relief. Relief.
So again, that's a good indicator of what's going on in the subconscious. Susan does loads and loads of work on herself, but that's stuff that is there that she was not aware of. And this is why I'm so passionate about connecting people with their subconscious, because until you know what's going on in there, you can't, there's many things that just cannot change. All right. So let's put Dan on the spot here, should we? Find out what our token male has got. Hi, Hi,
I'm
Wei
ready.
Ling. How are
Let's
you?
go. Sorry?
I'm just seeing Wei Ling has just come down there at the bottom. All right. Okay. So where's Dan gone? All right. Is there something specific for Dan that represents the rest of the group and their body image? Yeah. Is it card number 1? Is it line number 1? Is it line number 2? Is it family, birth and womb, inherited? There are 2 inherited cards, inherited 1, inherited 2. Is it, so these are archetypes. We've got 4: victim, prostitute, saboteur, and child. Let's find out how many there are. Is it victim? Is it saboteur? Is it prostitute? Is it child? Okay, so this is, let me see, is it before the age of 7, 7, 8, 9, 10? So this happened to you around about the age of 10, Dan. And the programs are the saboteur, we all know what that means, is sabotaging ourselves and allowing ourselves to be sabotaged. But also the reason you're doing that was because of the prostitute, and the prostitute sells themselves short, undervalues themselves. So you will be sabotaging yourself to keep that in place. And this is connected, and you've remembered this at a cellular level in your body. And in a way, this is about, you've done this to allow other people to be more of who they are. So rather than you being more of who you are, you've stepped yourself back. You've done all this sabotaging and undervaluing yourself to allow others to be more than you or to get more attention. Does that make any sense to you?
So I've sabotaged myself to allow other people to be more of themselves over myself.
Yeah, this is connected to body image. This is connected to body image. Or no, it's not connected to body image. It's showing up in body image. So you are not allowing yourself, and this is for all of us, not allowing yourself to look as good as you can or to be seen as good as you are because of the experience that you had around about the age of 10 where that didn't seem appropriate and you put others in front of you. And your big thing was emotions. And there's a lot of anger in there burning away. So does that mean anything to you?
I mean, it makes sense. Nothing is coming up. Nothing specific is coming up. But part of me is telling me, it's almost like, yes. That's, yeah. It makes total sense. But I can't go back to a specific moment.
Right. Okay.
But it does make complete sense.
And that's perfect. And so what can happen is that these memories that have been suppressed over the next day or two, they might come up and present themselves and you're like, that's what that meant. So let's release this. And also the value is the cellular memory is that we make a choice with cellular memory to remember these situations. And so that is constantly playing out. And often we remember these things to remind ourselves to not do it again, to keep us safe or because we were told something. But all that does, it just keeps us focused on that. It doesn't keep us safe at all. It keeps us stuck because it keeps that program going around on a loop. So let's de-loop you, should we?
Let's go.
Okay. I fast-track the release
I fast-track the release
of all cellular memory
of all cellular memory.
connected to the prostitute, whew,
Connected to the prostitute.
undervaluing myself,
Undervaluing myself.
selling myself short,
Selling myself short.
and sabotaging myself
Sabotaging myself.
mentally, emotionally,
Mentally, emotionally,
physically,
physically,
and spiritually.
and spiritually.
Going back to the age of 10.
Going back to the age of 10.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive anyone who gave me the message
I forgive anyone who gave me the message
that I wasn't good enough,
that I wasn't good enough,
that they weren't good enough.
that they weren't good enough.
In any way this inhibits me
In any way this inhibits me
in my relationship with my body.
in my relationship with my body.
I choose
I choose
to release this for myself,
to release this for myself,
for everyone involved,
for everyone involved,
and I allow myself to expand
I allow myself to expand
in the right way for the right reasons,
in the right way for the right reasons,
beyond my mind.
beyond my mind.
It is time
It is time
for me to be seen.
for me to be seen.
It's time for me to be heard.
It's time for me to be heard.
And it is time for me to fill my space.
It's time for me to fill my space or
Yes.
spill my space. Fill my space, okay.
With myself
With myself
now.
now.
That hit home, right?
It still is. It's still, I'm vibrating. This is a different feeling. Normally I get like cold, like almost like a draft from outside, but this is different. This is much different.
I can feel
Wow.
it.
Absolutely. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, good work. Okay. All right. So, is there anything else connected to this aspect? No. Aspect number 2. Let's see, who's this one for? Lindsay.
Hello.
Okay, all right. Hi, nice to meet you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
All right.
good.
Are you following along okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's find out. Do we go to line number 1, line number 2, line number 3? The body, the heart, trauma, old vibrations, conflict, forgiveness. Okay. Is this about forgiving? Okay. Is it forgiving self? Is it forgiving the body? Is it forgiving others? Is this going back before the age of 20? The age of 10, 10 to 15, 15, 16, 17. Oh, this is really nice. So, Lindsay, were you in a relationship when you were 17? Did you have a boyfriend? Or?
Yeah.
All right, okay, so that's what this is about. So everybody think back to a person that you were in a relationship where you got hurt or you were hurt. And it could be things that they said to you about your physical appearance. They might have said it to hurt you. They might have said it because they meant it. Or you might even have misinterpreted what they said. But this is the hurt that you're still carrying as a truth in your body. And so for Lindsay, it's age 17, and it's about forgiving yourself and forgiving that other person. Often with forgiveness, we're like, well, I'm not going to forgive them until they apologize or they put it right. But if you think about it, we are carrying the pain and the suffering, the hurt about something for ourselves. It's got nothing to do with them. We've just taken it on and they're long gone. But we're still holding on to what they did to us. And while we're doing that, we have no power. We're waiting for them to change, for us to change. You take full responsibility and you make a choice to let it go. Doesn't mean to say you have to accept what they did. It doesn't mean to say you have to like what they did. You just need to accept that it happened. And it's time for you to let that go from your body, mind, and life. And when you do that, then forgiveness comes quite easily. So let's do this.
I'm going to turn my video off because I kind of get where this is going, and I think it will be messy.
Okay.
I'm still here though.
All right. I fast track the release
I fast track the release
of all pain and suffering,
of all pain and suffering,
remembered in my body,
remembered in my body,
going back to the age of 17,
going back to the age of 17,
and all negative impact
and all negative impact
on my body image.
on my body image.
I forgive myself for holding on to this pain,
I forgive myself for holding on to this pain,
and I forgive that person,
and I forgive that person,
and I surrender all of this
and I surrender all of this
to light.
to light.
It is safe for me to let go.
It's safe for me to let go.
It is time for me to let go.
It is time for me to let go.
And I am choosing to let go.
And I am choosing to let go.
Now,
Now,
I choose to fully express myself
I choose to fully express myself
mentally, emotionally,
mentally, emotionally,
and physically.
and physically.
Now.
Now,
Whew. Okay, bye, Aga. Just to go. Has anybody got any questions at this point?
I would actually like to know, like, do you believe we can be holding on to events and memories and things from later in life as well? Like, can that be just as impactful on us if you're in your 20s already and something happens versus in your early years where it's more formative?
So sorry, what's the actual question?
So I suppose, like, I'm very on board with the idea that, like, in our early years, like, we're very impressionable and things can stick with us, right? Do you believe that events that happen later on, like in our 20s, 30s, 40s, can also have similar impact? They could still be carrying? Yeah.
Absolutely. But my experience is that often it triggers back to an earlier time. Because it's that earlier being that's running the show, and it means we're more susceptible in our later years to take this similar stuff on. And that's when I work with Fast Track, I work with root causes, which are the fundamentals, the things that started this stuff, and then aspects, which are the things that came afterwards and are keeping the root in place.
Got it.
So if we just worked, but often what I find is, say somebody comes to me with a relationship problem, like, yeah, okay, And I agree with everything that they consciously say. But my experience shows me that when we do the fast track work, it's never about that relationship. It always goes back to an earlier time where something was put in place that brought in that kind of a relationship to trigger something to heal.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So at the age you're at, you're very, very lucky. I didn't know any of this stuff until I was nearly 60 years old. I had quite a lot of stuff to unravel. All right, okay. So let me just catch Wei Ling up. Wei Ling, when we first started, I gave everybody their numbers. I calibrated the questionnaires into mental, emotional, physical, and outside judgments like the media and people's opinions. So you were mental 47, those are your beliefs, your thoughts about body, your body image, emotionally 49, physically 37, and the media outside influences 77. So that's where you need to be looking. Many of us, it's about what other people think of us or what we think that they think about us, and including the media and how the media tell us we should and shouldn't be, all of that crap. And we're all very much affected by that. Okay, so where do we go next? Janelle, you still there?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Oh, sorry, Janelle.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Do you hear me?
Okay, yes, all right, this one's something for you.
Okay.
Line number 1, line number 2, line number 3, the body, the heart, trauma, old vibrations. So is it vibrations? No, stories. Are these Janelle's stories? No. Are these from this lifetime? Yes. Are they connected to her family? Okay. These are stories. This is so interesting. These are stories from people like teachers, this is going back to the age of 12. This is about how you hold yourself back in many ways because you will not allow yourself to be better than the teachers or the people that you put in place to admire.
Age 12. That makes a lot of sense.
Does it? In what way?
From the age of 11 to 13, I had the same teacher 2 years in a row who was emotionally abusive. He bullied me in front of all the kids. So I started to learn just to try to not attract his attention so that he wouldn't try to humiliate me.
Right, okay, all right. So she doesn't want to be seen by the teacher, she doesn't want to be seen, so she, and the way that the subconscious will grab hold of this, it will take it from that teacher who bullied her into all other teachers, and then to people who she admires, and she will not let herself be seen to her full potential. This is huge, this is ginormous.
Big. It's big.
Right, is there anybody else out there connecting to this? I am. Anybody else?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, had that experience when I was small. Yeah, no, even as a teenager, yeah, various teachers.
Yeah.
Had a lot of brushes with teachers and have to try to really lower myself down and be inconspicuous.
And Jazz, the thing is, it's not even anything I really did or said. He said that I had hostile and defiant body language. He didn't like the way I was sitting. Usually I was just cold in the air conditioning, so I would sit with my arms crossed. And I was small. I was the smallest kid in the room, and my feet didn't touch the floor, so I kind of had to lean back in my chair to not slide out of it. And so it wasn't even for any misbehavior that I did. It was body language. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. Let's uncreate and destroy him then. All right. Here we go. I fast track the release
Fast track the release
of all beliefs, programs, responses, and behavior patterns that I've adopted going back to the age of 12 around not being seen, heard, or getting in the way, connected to that teacher. I forgive myself for that body language that provoked him. And I forgive myself for all the ways I hold myself back from being noticed by my teachers, people I respect, people in authority, and any other aspects of this that I haven't thought of, I've forgotten. It is time for me to fully embody this body and allow this body to vibrate at its highest at its highest vibration in all areas of my life. I am enough, exactly as I am. I release all the hurt, pain, and suffering connected to this person. I forgive all bullies. I forgive being bullied. Now, gosh, my head is banging. Are you still there?
I'm still here. Thank you, Jazz. That was powerful.
There's a lot of relevance in that.
Mm.
We've got one more. Is there anybody there that is feeling that they've got something that needs to shift, that's not shifting, that's not being addressed?
I think right now, feeling that it's impossible to make money right now with businesses shut down and everybody staying home from work, like how can I see the opportunities in the situation of staying home for 2 months, basically, at least 3 more weeks.
So I'm going to be doing another webinar in the next few days called Isolation, where we'll be addressing all of that stuff. So this is about the body images. So just close your eyes, everyone, and just go into that place where you went to, where you felt tightness or constriction, and you put a number on it, 0 to 10. And just see, what does that number feel like now? And when you've got a new number, open your eyes. All right. So, who's still got something that's more than a 5? I knew it would be you, Amy. Okay. So, Amy, what number's yours?
Okay, so I started off around a 7, but it's creeping up to like a 9, and it's most of my right hand side is.
You look lovely, by the way. All right. So it's a 7.
Oh no, it was a 7. It's like moving up to a 9.
Oh, it's gone up. Oh, okay.
A lot of pain.
All right. So this is a great indicator. Of course, it's not what we want to happen, but it's just showing that this stuff is coming up. And Esther, what's your number?
The 9 is in my right shoulder blade, and it was a 9 before, and it's still a 9, so it didn't change.
Okay, so does it still feel exactly the same? Or does it feel like it's a different 9?
Yes. It's exactly the same.
Okay, all right. So chances are that it's not about what we're doing now. Let's see what we've got going up. Yes, Loretta?
Mine feels like my heartbeat is, I would say a 6 to 7.
And what did it start off as?
A 6, so it's pretty much the same or a little bit more.
Right, okay, all right. So let's find out, because it would sound like this is about something that isn't really body image. So let's just find out. We'll start with Amy. Does Amy have resistance to change? No. Do we go to line number 1, line number 2, line number 3? The body, the heart, trauma, old vibrations, conflict. Internal conflict. All right, so what this is, Amy, and for everybody, this is about the conflict around letting yourself leave the pain, suffering, and sacrifice. Whatever this is, whether it's, for you, it's not really about body image, Amy. I think it's more like holding onto this pain, suffering, and sacrifice. It keeps you small, and it keeps you in some way out of the limelight where you belong. So you have an attachment to holding on to this. You have an attachment to holding on to the pain, suffering, and sacrifice. You have a conflict around letting it go and allowing yourself to be okay. Are you ready to let that go?
A little bit.
Sorry?
A little.
All right.
A little.
Okay. We don't do a little on this on fast track.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I'm going to lead you in, Amy. Amy's also, she does fast track, so she comes to workshops quite regularly here in Chiang Mai when we had workshops in Chiang Mai. So I'm going to lead you in, and I want you to finish this off because it is about you allowing yourself. So my words, they might empower you, but it's time for you to empower yourself, all right? Okay, this is for everybody too. I fast track the release
Fast track the release
of all internal conflict
of all internal conflict
connected to my attachment
connected to my attachment,
to the pain, suffering, and sacrifice
sacrifice
that I am needing to keep me safe.
to keep me safe,
And all the ways I use this
all the ways I use this
to defend and protect myself.
so
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
And I now choose.
Now choose.
Go ahead.
And I now choose to release it to the light and give it back to those who it rightfully belongs to. I release all pain from my right side and find the joy, the fun, and the playfulness.
It is safe to let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
It is time for me to let it go.
For me to let it go.
And I choose to get out of my own way.
And I choose to get out of my own way.
And allow this to happen.
And allow this to happen.
Easily.
Easily.
Now. Okay. What's happened to the discomfort level?
I think it's gone down to an 8, but it's all kind of pushed down into one spot. Kind of like I just need like a vacuum to like suck it
Right.
up.
And what do you want to do with that, Amy?
I want to dissolve it.
All right. Okay, so let's do it. I fast track the release.
Fast track the release.
Of all that's remaining.
That's remaining.
Located in my right side, did you say?
Located in the right side.
And all the way I've shoved it down.
And all the way I shoved it down.
And not letting it go.
And not letting it go.
I forgive myself.
Forgive myself.
For holding on to this.
For holding on to this.
For taking it so seriously.
For taking it so seriously.
It's just stuff.
It's just stuff.
And I'm letting it go now.
And I'm letting it go now.
You want to add to that, Amy?
No. Now.
Bravo.
Thank you.
All right, okay. So what's the number now?
4.
4, okay, all right. So this is a good indicator for us. You know, we show up and we're like, yeah, I want to let this go. And actually, even consciously, I'll say this, and I say it with love for all of us, including myself, is we don't want to let stuff go. We want everybody else around us to change, okay? We want coronavirus to go away by itself, right? We want to blame everybody and make a big noise, okay? We are hopeless at taking action and responsibility for ourselves. We want it. I believe subconsciously we have the programs that keep it in place, but consciously, we do not want to change that fast. Or if we do, we want it to be on Wednesday after I've done yoga, but only blah, 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 blah. You know, we just love to control. We are just a whole heap of controlling programs. The best thing for that, in my opinion, and I do this for myself, is I just laugh at me. I just get to see what I'm doing to me, because I'm a human being as well, and I've got everything everybody else has got. I just probably do more work around it. And I just see that I take myself so seriously. And, you know, actually just having a good laugh at this stuff would banish a lot of it. All right. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Esther, are you still a 9? Okay, so I'm just going to investigate what's going on for Esther, and we'll release this.
Yes. Still a 9.
Sorry? Okay, Rachel's going. Bye-bye, Rachel. You'll get the replay. Thank you for joining. All right, so I'm going to find out what's going on for Esther. Is it card number 1, line number 1, line number 2? Family, birth and womb, inherited, karmic, outer resonance 1, outer resonance 2. Is it separation? Is it an emotion? So these are very deep emotions. And this is an emotion that you're carrying from another dimension. So it's not really yours, but it's in your body. I won't go deeply into that on this call. But let's find out what the emotion is. Is it fear? Is it grief? Is it fear, grief? Okay, it's sadness and sorrow. Sadness and sorrow. Sorrow is like a very deep version of sadness. And you're holding it in your lower body, in your lower torso. So you don't need it. Let's release this. I fast track the release of all deep sorrow being remembered in my lower body that no longer serves me,
in the lower body
that isn't mine,
that no longer serves me, that isn't mine.
I choose to return this back to where it came from with love and consciousness,
That's where it came from,
and to replace it with light,
with love and consciousness,
or something even better.
and this is life,
It is time
or something even better.
for me to let go
It is time
now.
for me to let go. Now.
I think you need to do this about 3 more times, Esther, and see what happens. So it's stuff that you're making a choice, consciously or subconsciously, to hold on to. when we give information to our subconscious, it's like a computer. It doesn't say yes, no, or this is going to take a long time. It does exactly what we tell it to do. So if you make a decision, put this in your own words and send this stuff to the light or back to where it came from or wherever you want it to go, then, and you do it with purpose, then I think you'll find that it will definitely go. But this isn't connected to body image. This is something else that's quite deep-seated. Okay, Loretta, how's that going in your heart?
Same. It is.
Sorry?
It's the same.
All right, okay. Is there something we can release for Loretta? No. Okay, all right.
I'm sad.
So what we've got, and I say this with respect, is we've got 3 people who are holding on to stuff and won't let it go.
Yeah.
So Amy's done a great job. Esther, she can do it. But it's like, whatever this is, Loretta, you need to name it. Is, yes, is whatever it is, it's yours. And you're holding onto it. It's almost like you're protecting it so deeply that you won't allow it to be seen to let go of.
Okay.
What does that feel like when I say that?
Yeah, it resonates. It's been here for a while. It won't go. So
That's not true.
I'm not letting it go. Sorry.
Exactly.
I don't know why. Safety, I guess.
Right. Okay, so what you really, really need to do is to is to acknowledge that you have an attachment to the pain, the suffering, and the sacrifice. I don't say this is a judgment. I had it myself. So I'm not, we all have it to some degree, but you've got it big time. And it's almost like you'll let some of it go and then you'll go and get more.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, constant.
Right.
Looking for new shit.
Always. Yeah, always. And that's the issue. And it's like you will go until you are ready to take the responsibility for yourself. Nobody else can help you let go. They can help you, but if you keep going back and picking this stuff up, then that's what you'll be doing.
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look for something specific that's relevant for all of us that is stopping us from being amazing. So put your attention on this, that we're going to look for this. We're going to look for this to help Loretta find whatever it is that she needs, because she does do this work, but then she goes, she's her own worst enemy, and she goes out and she brings in more stuff. We've all got elements of that. So she's just representing a very, let's say, stuck part of us. And I say that with love, Loretta. I hope you're not getting upset or offended.
No, never. No.
All right, okay. Otherwise, I'll come and hit you. All right, let's find out. So put all your attention and let's see what we can get here. Is it card number 1? It is. All right. Is it one of the 4 aspects? No. Is it internal? Is it external? Is it dark? Do we need to know more? Okay, is this Loretta's dark? Is this mental, emotional, physical, spiritual? Is it another card? Is it line number 1, 2, 3? Okay, so it's pain, suffering, and sacrifice on the outside. It's external. Your pain, and we've all got this, your pain, suffering, and sacrifice, which Loretta is hooked into external pain, suffering, and sacrifice. So those things are doing a loop. You've got it, so you attract the outside. The outside's got it, it gets you. So it's going around and around and around. And so when you don't know that you're doing this, and I had this for a long time, is I'm like, I clear all my stuff and feeling great. And it's like, why is this happening again? Is because when I would go out, I would plug back into, or I would allow outside stuff to plug back into me. Okay. Now, there's a reason for me doing that. And when I found the reason for doing that, I could stop doing it. And it was a big spiritual, huge shift for me. Why you're doing it at the moment is it's just what you do. So let's just see. So this is external dark and the connection to your internal dark. And what we want to do is to break that circuit. You ready?
Yes. I'm slow at writing, sorry.
You don't have to write it down, we just have to do it.
Okay, sorry.
All right, okay. So everybody, unmute yourself. Let's just hit it with all this energy.
I can feel it. It's like, are you ready for this? No.
All right, okay, all right. Do you ask for it? You're going to get it. I fast track the release.
I fast track
the release
of all resistance to change.
Of all resistance to change.
Connected to my attachment.
Connected to my attachment.
To external dark.
To external dark.
The pain, suffering, and sacrifice.
Pain, suffering, and sacrifice.
That I bring from the outside.
That I bring from the outside.
Into my inside.
Into my inside.
To keep myself less than.
To keep myself less than.
To maintain my story.
To maintain my story.
And my drama.
And my drama.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive my human beingness.
I forgive my human beingness.
I give myself permission.
I give myself permission.
Go ahead, Loretta. We're all following you. And we're all listening.
Oh, I give myself permission to release this constant need to find what's wrong, to find more things that are wrong. Constantly looking for negativity and constantly looking for just more crap and where it's going to fuck up, you know? I release this. I don't want it anymore. Please go away.
All right, Susan, do you want to add something to that?
I allow myself to give up holding on to the things that make me unhappy, and focusing on those things. And I choose to see more joy in my life, to focus on more fun now.
Wei-Ling, what would you like to add to that?
I choose to let go of all self-judgment of my own deficiencies and lacks. I choose to stop finding fault within myself and what needs to change or shift constantly. I choose to accept myself for who I am, not more, not less. Yes.
Maureen.
I'm a bit speechless, honestly.
I choose
I choose
to love myself,
to love myself,
to accept myself
to accept myself
To accept myself.
exactly as I am.
exactly as I am.
As I am.
Charlotte, I choose Charlotte.
I choose.
Okay. Are you saying anything, Charlotte? We can't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, can hear you now.
I choose. Sorry. To let go of fear.
Just to let go of fear.
Let go.
And to allow myself to be seen.
To allow myself to be seen.
Dan.
I choose to be the person I truly, truly want to be. No judgments from myself, from anyone else. I choose to be my authentic self, and I allow myself to be happy.
For no reason.
No reason. Sorry.
Okay, all right. Who got left? Who's that there? Amy. I choose.
I choose to shine. I choose to step into the sensation that I am.
I choose to get out of my own way.
To get out of my own way.
And to get on with my life.
To get on with my life.
And anything that does not support this,
And anything that does not support this,
I uncreate and destroy it.
I uncreate and destroy it.
For myself and the planet.
Myself and the planet.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Take a deep breath. How are you doing, Lotta?
Better. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. So this stuff doesn't go overnight, but if you just take on the vision that every time you do this, Loretta, you're letting more of it go. And every time you let some of the dark go, more light comes in. And you'll get more and more awarenesses and aha moments about why you've been doing it. And it won't be more than a few days when you actually start to be able to laugh at yourself. This is my experience. And just see what the human being, Loretta, is doing to the infinite being, Loretta, and how this human beingness is so negative. We're wired to look at what's not working rather than what is working. And when something is working, well, what do? We'll find something, we'll go and find something else to complain about. It's what human beings do. So keep doing this.
Thank you so much.
All right, okay, so I am going to officially close this recording down, but if you'd like to stay on, I will go back to your numbers and recalibrate where you are at now. So just pressing the pause button here.